to Daily Focus. And I hope your day is off to as wonderful a start as what our day is. And we will be leaving Wisconsin today. We've enjoyed preaching the annual statewide pastors and pastors' wives conference, and I think they call it a retreat. And what a wonderful time to gather around God's word and to meet fellow pastors from all over the state, and many of them, which I'd never met before. Some of them, it's wonderful to get reacquainted with them. Well, I have entitled this one, Here We Go a Third Time. I've been hinting towards this for a while because we know that this is a little bit of what Nebuchadnezzar's MO is that he gets proud, he gets arrogant, God puts him down, humbles him, shows his power, shows his presence. Nebuchadnezzar seemingly repents and, recognizes the power and person of God, but I'm not sure that it was ever really authentic. Hard to tell. Nobody really can see the heart of anybody, but we tend to see that Nebuchadnezzar only says what he says because of what he intends to get. And before we get too hard on Nebuchadnezzar, I think we need to do a little self-evaluation and say, do we treat God that way too? Do we cry out to him when we really need him and then slip back into our typical, hypocritical, simple ways of living, the familiar paths that are almost habit to live? And then when things tighten back down or consequences are on the horizon or difficult trials are being experienced, then we cry out to God again. And then as the pressure goes away, do we slip back into the mundane paths that we were in before? You and I have to answer that. But before we get too hard on Nebuchadnezzar, I really think God would have us to be honest with ourselves. Well, in chapter 4, verse 28, it says, "And all this came upon King Nebuchadnezzar at the end of 12 months. He walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon. And the king spake and said, Is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power, for the honor of my majesty?" While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, "O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee. And they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat the grass of the oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will." The same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men, and did eat grass with oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till the hairs were grown like eagle feathers, and his nails like bird claws. You talk about humbling somebody. I don't know about you, but it almost makes me fear being arrogant and proud. And yet Nebuchadnezzar was warned and warned and warned, but he just never believed what he said about God's power and God's sovereignty and God's purity. He just never believed any of that, though he said it. He didn't, when life was simple and back to normal, he did not live like any of that was true. But, and at the end of the days, I, Nebuchadnezzar, lifted up my eyes unto heaven, and my understanding returned unto me, and I blessed the Most High, and I praised and honored him that liveth forever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation. I feel like we've heard this before. And all the inhabitants of the earth are reputed as nothing, and he doeth according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth, and none can stay his hand or say unto him, What doest thou? At the same time, my reason returned unto me, and for the glory of my kingdom, mine honor and brightness returned unto me. And my counselors and my lords sought unto me, and I was established in my kingdom. And excellent majesty was added unto me. Now I, Nebuchadnezzar, praise and extol and honor the King of heaven, all whose works are truth and his ways judgment. Those that walk in pride, he is able to abase. I don't know about you, but James 4 comes to mind. God resisteth the proud, but he gives grace unto the humble. I think as we go into today, I think it'd be very wise for us to do a pride check and say, do I think anything that I have, that I'm experiencing is because of my own doing? I might know all the right things in my head, and even the right words may come out of my mouth, but I need to do a check of my heart. And do I really believe that it's all God? And without him, I can do nothing. Without him, I am nothing. And so with him, I can do all things. I can praise his name. I can accomplish his will. I can bring glory to him. And that's all that really matters. And we all need grace. And the only way to get grace is to be humble. So may we humble ourselves, have a right view of God and a proper view of ourselves. May we look to meet the needs of those around us and serve our God faithfully today as he directs us in what he would have us to do as we serve him. May God bless you. I hope you have a great day today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.